Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
And I'm Robbie.
Yep, and today we're going to talk about the last two episodes of Andor. The first one, well, I guess that was episode 9. No, wait, it was episode 10.
Episode 10.
Where they escape, right?
Yeah.
And then episode 11 is the penultimate episode that just came out. It was sort of like the aftermath of that and pretty much the finale. But yeah, these were, I think, the 10th one, the breakout episode. I guess sort of like the final episode, sort of in the prison arc.
They find out what happened on level 2.
Well, that was before. That was the episode before they found out that everyone was.
Oh yeah, and that was what kicked things off. Really,
they were like, "Yeah, we got to break out." So yeah, episode 10 was great. It was probably my favorite of the season. And really kind of just shows you just like, I think, and what's so great about this show is, there's no Jedis or Mandalorians with plot armor.
Star Wars without lightsabers.
Yeah, like in like the Mandalorian's case, literal plot armor.
Yeah.
Or in the Jedi's case, they can just like, not hypnotize, but like, mind control people in a way, and use the Force and telekinesis and lightning, all that stuff. But like in this show, it's like all humans, and like the stakes are a lot higher. So, and like so many things could have gone wrong with that escape plan, like because he was just like working hard to get that water pipe busted. And like it was I guess it was spraying, but maybe not to the point where he needed it to because they needed enough water on the floor.
He needed to flood the floor and
the short circuit. So, and even if they flooded it and the plan didn't work, the Empire discovered it and know what they were doing and then kill them anyway. So it's sort of like a point of no return. So, and then with the platform that was lowering wasn't even like all the way in the ground, so they still had to climb a good way to even get onto it, and he just like sort of just jammed it. So and then still they knew like people were gonna get killed or shot down as they charged for them. So it really just kind of shows just like how desperate they were, and just like how crappy the situation was, that they just had to go for it. But yeah,
did have a few getting shot. They don't miss every shot.
Well, they don't have helmets. So they don't have stormtrooper helmets on.
Yeah, they can. That's the key.
That's there. Probably why they probably would miss a lot less if they had those helmets off. Because I don't know if there's like any epic vision, or if it's just you can't see anything through those helmets. But yeah. So, but yeah, it's like pretty much just like there's just like a small little opening to get through to the top floor, and the floor was short-circuited, and they were able to, after that happened, they were able to charge and climb up and take out the Imperial officers.
Those stairs.
Oh yeah, they didn't have an elevator to use, so they
eventually showed the camera view up the stair. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, this is like could have sworn there should have been an elevator, but yeah, they get to the top and they. The guys just they tell them to turn off the shield or something. I can't remember, but it's like it'll take months to get back on. It's like, why would they care?
Oh yeah, I think it was they were using the water for power and they shut it all down. Cut off the water.
It's like it'll take months to get back on. It's like, yeah, well, they're escaping. That's what they want. So
that's our problem.
Yeah. So Kino gives a speech and they let everyone go, and they find out the only way to get out is
I originally thought that voice was like AI, a robot that they just made really deep, but it was literally just a guy with a voice changer.
Yep. So they get to he gives a speech, and they jump out, and we find out Kino can't swim.
Oh.
So we don't know if he's gonna survive or if he just gets retaken, or they probably could gone back and found something.
They found
some sort of flotation device, or maybe some sort of raft. Since they live in the water, you would think the Imperials would have some sort of emergency escape system. If they can't, if the Imperials need to leave, they probably would have a raft somewhere.
Maybe the Empire doesn't have those codes. They make up their own codes.
Yeah. So, and then when else? So they, Andor gets pushed off before he can figure out what to do with Kino, and it's this sort of last shot we see is him running with that other dude.
Everybody's swimming away.
Yeah, and I found out the other dude that Cassian's with, it was actually in the Rogue One movie. I didn't remember him. Yeah, he was. He didn't have like a big part, but he was in the. He was in the strike team that went to go take out the Death Star plans in the finale. I think he was like one of those soldiers. So they brought that actor back from Rogue One. So that was cool. I need to probably rewatch Rogue One because I think the last time I saw it was in 2016. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces probably like on TV, but I think I saw it twice in theater, and I pretty much like still remember like the whole plot of that, but I'm sure like little details like that actor, it was probably hard to remember because it came out like 6 years ago. So so it was probably my favorite episode of the season. And then I'm trying to remember, I'm probably gonna like get them mixed up, but I'm trying to remember the Mon Mothma and Luthen's arc. I think like Luthen has a mole or a spy in the ISB, and we find out that the guy in the ISB told them that the guy Krieger is going to be ambushed by the Empire, and if they tell Krieger, then the ISB is going to know that they have a mole inside, so they pretty much have to sacrifice Krieger. And Luthen gives this big speech about. Well, the guy asks Luthen what he sacrifices, and Luthen gives that big monologue, like everything. So, and then Mon Mothma once again is just sitting on a couch in her apartment, like the rest of the season.
That's true.
But it's basically, I mean, her role in the series, she's a diplomat, or she's like just sort of like behind the scenes. She's not like a soldier. She's very much just she's like the one who bankrolls the rebellion. So like her part in this show is a lot less action oriented and more about like diplomacy, or not diplomacy, but just making things happen behind the scenes. So like the rebels can do their thing. So yeah, so basically she meets
Star Wars.
Yeah, she meets with this gangster dude, and he wants to marry his son to her daughter.
It's like, yeah.
So it's pretty much like there, I guess, in Chandrilla land or wherever. I'm not sure what the name of her planet is, but like Chandrillian custom is like they have arranged marriages, pretty much like like an old medieval days, or like on Game of Thrones, where it's like it's like about like keeping powerful families,
bloodlines.
And yeah, well, it's about like keeping powerful or like uniting powerful families, like arranged marriages. So, but yeah, she's basically just selling. She's being asked to sell off her daughter because like the guy already has money. He doesn't need anything, but he does need like his lineage to continue. So he wants like Mon Mothma's daughter to marry his son. So, and then I'm guessing the episode with Bix, Cassian's like ex-girlfriend, like she was being tortured, right? Or I think that was the episode before this one, but I think in this one she was still being tortured, and
yeah, they still have her.
Yeah, so I don't think much happened.
Yeah, they had her kind of drugged up or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was drugged up. She's just, I think, just been tortured so much that she's just sort of like comatose. So, but yeah, so the breakout episode was definitely the best. I think Luthen gave a great speech at the end. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Cyril Karn was in the breakout episode. And I think Deidre Miro, we just saw her with Lonnie the Mole. And, I'm trying to remember what Miro did that episode. Like, she didn't really do much these past two episodes. It's pretty much, I think it was more just set up in, like, Andor and Luthen and Mothma are sort of like, they were the main focus of the past two episodes. But I guess we can, like, move on to the penultimate episode that came out this week. So, basically, like...
Episode 11.
Yeah, Cassian and his friend pretty much got off the planet immediately. Not like easily, but you know, they sort of I guess they just were just like, okay, we got to wrap this up, so we'll just like get him off the planet.
It started out with them on the edge of that cliff, climbing up it.
Oh yeah, because they're I guess for some reason
it reminds you that they're doing all this barefoot, and it shows them how beat up their feet were getting.
Yeah, it looks like their one of his toenails is like falling off. It's like, ugh, yeah. It's like I can understand why sandals were so quick to be invented back in like the Paleolithic age. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that made sense. I don't know why the ship couldn't see them on the side of the cliff.
Well, I think they were just trying not to be seen.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, couldn't the ship have easily flown over them and seen them hanging on the side of the cliff? Would have made like more sense if they had like some like if they were like in a cave or something.
Depending on how high up they were,
or if there's like an overhang at the very least. You know, like we know, like overhangs are even tougher to hang on to than like a flat wall. So, he's like, I can't hang on any longer, and somehow they climb back up and they see these two.
Or what will they say? Tell me the ship's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So.
All right, and then there's those two aliens they found.
And they apparently had Spider-Man's web fluid in there.
Yeah, some kind of net trap.
Yeah,
whatever that stuff was made out of.
And he's like, "You're with the Empire. We're gonna kill you." And they're like, "No, we're not." And they're like, "Okay, you're not."
We escaped the Empire. It's like, all right.
Yeah, so that was a little anticlimactic, but I guess they just realized they just had to wrap up the whole prison planet thing. I'm glad they didn't devote an entire episode to like how they got off the planet, but I was like, I guess they just realized like we've been on this planet for 3 episodes, we gotta move on. So
yeah, and just lets them get in the ship and go.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they were just like, we're not gonna let you steal the ship. We'll take you to a different planet if you want, but we're not gonna let you steal our ship. So
yeah,
he's like, we meant you no. He's like, we meant you no harm. We were just gonna leave you for dead here.
We were only gonna steal your ship
and leave you for dead. Yeah,
and harm you if you did something.
So it was like, I'm glad the guys were quick to forgive them. So
yeah.
Anyway, and then once again, Mon Mothma's just in her apartment in this episode. But she's like, I guess her daughter was
sipping some wine, watching what was it? I didn't really catch what exactly was going on.
I guess it was like some sort of like Chandrillian custom. I thought for a second like it was gonna be like what we talked about on the last episode, like she's part of the Palpatine youth. So like she's like really into the Empire now. Just like,
I guess it was some kind of religious thing.
Yeah. So I don't know, some sort of like, I guess other Chandrillian
some custom they do at dinner.
Or like sort of like how we have like confirmation with church. I guess they sort of like a galaxy. They have like it's like some sort of like after school program where I don't know, whatever. It might have nothing to do with the Empire. I think it would be funny like if her daughter was rebelling against her mother by being pro-Empire. Paradoxically, she's rebelling against
that'd be funny.
Her rebel mother. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess it was like, but I think the takeaway from that episode with Mon Mothma's story was that she has to, as she was telling her cousin, like she pretty much like has to comply with the gangster dude and sell her daughter or like have her daughter marry that guy's son because she really has no choice. So is it sort of like the theme in this show? Like, you know, It's not really like black and white. Like the good guys have to do like deplorable things just to keep the rebellion going. So it's definitely like a lot of gray area. It's not like the original trilogy where it's like, you know, the good guys are always good and the bad guys are always bad. Although I think like Lando was sort of like a gray area in the original trilogy. Like he starts off like Han's friend, then he betrays
our main
Han.
Character murdered 2 guys in the first episode.
Well, they were trying to
but they were
harassing him. Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, did they attack him first? They were trying to like arrest him or rob him or something. So like they weren't really innocent. But yeah. So what else happened? And then like I guess Luthen's story this past episode was he met with Saw Gerrera again, and he told Saw that they're going to have to give up Krieger to the Empire, otherwise they're going to know that Luthen has a mole in the ISB. So Saw was like not happy about it, but he was just like, well, this is war. So
then they're using Andor's mother as bait, basically.
Oh yeah, so
and then they had the funeral.
Do you really think his mother's dead, or do you think that's just the rebellion trying to?
Well, they even showed a body they were moving away and everything.
Well, yeah, but that could just be like
it could all be set up because we never saw a face.
I mean, I think her being killed off screen is a definite. I think it's really suspicious that they didn't show her dying. So I strongly think that she's not dead. They just faked her death so they could like get her off of Ferrix without alerting the Empire, because they were probably watching her. But you know, I think it seems pretty obvious. I mean, you know, Miro wants there to be a funeral because she wants Andor to attend, and we found out Cyril also found out that there's going to be a funeral, and that he's going to try. I think he had to like steal his mother's jewelry just to get to buy a plane ticket.
He's like, stop using my name, as he says his name like 3 more times.
What's that, Cyril? Stop using my name. What, Cyril?
Yeah, basically.
Stop saying Cyril.
All right, Cyril. You got it here.
Yeah. So that was funny. But yeah, he had to like wait till his mom left and like had to rob her, steal her jewelry. So I'm sure that's gonna like. I'm wondering if like he's gonna get kicked out of his mom's house now because he robbed her, so he's gonna like have nowhere else to go. So, but I'm interested to see where his story's going. I'm wondering if either him or Miro's gonna get killed next episode. Although it would be kind of, I think, disappointment if they killed off Cyril so early because in the season, because like pretty much his entire arc this season was catching Andor and like trying to. Well, the first 3 episodes, like he was trying to catch Andor, then he got fired. In episode like 4 through 11,
I was just trying to get his job back.
Yeah, he's trying to trying to get his reputation back. So I'm wondering. I mean, I don't think they're going to arrest Andor again because we've already seen him being captured by the Empire. I think it'd be redundant for him to be captured again. But I'm thinking like Cyril's going to do something to where he's going to get promoted within the Empire. At the end of this episode, I'm wondering if Miro might be killed off. But I don't know. I mean, they could both live. I'm thinking someone has to die next episode, and I don't know who. I'm thinking maybe his friend, the guy who's staying with the robot, might get killed because I don't think his mom's really dead. I don't think Bix is gonna die, and I know that Vel and. Well, who's the Indian chick, Sintra, I think. So she's like pretending to be like a waitress, and she's also spying on. So it's like funny. You got like Cyril Karn's after him.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Miro's after him, Cyril Karn's after him, Sintra's after him. So like it's like the absolute last place he should be going. Is back to Ferrix. So, but and it's like, and what ironic,
he's gonna go there anyway.
Oh, he to go because it's gonna be like it's also like a nice. Way to like tie things up because for like the beginning episode or the beginning arc was on Ferrix and it's ending on Ferrix again, so it's a nice little like bow tie to tie everything up.
Is the next episode the finale or?
It's the season finale. So yeah, it should be a good one. So
they've had a lot of stuff they've been building up to.
Well, we got to talk about like Luthen's big escape, and how he pretty much like destabilized the tractor beam.
Oh yeah, that was
pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of like I was looking at like watching a video on space warfare and like how we can't like use bullets in space obviously because there's no oxygen. Well, I think we can like use bullets, but I think it's like better to use just like projectiles to disable systems. Like I think like so it was interesting to see sort of that.
Charge them up for some reason.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure how the physics in space works, but it seemed like.
Well, and plus that was an atmosphere at that time, but.
Oh, maybe they were in the stratosphere of that planet, but yeah, it was sort of nerve-wracking, like him like being asked. Well, I guess his.
And I think that's I think that ship is new with the tractor beam with got the dishes.
Oh well, apparently it was in the designs for the original trilogy, but they never used it in the movies. Cool. So they just like adapted it for this show. So that's just really awesome. Cool, like that they're sort of like taking these Easter eggs from like the original trilogy, and obviously like George Lucas's work because of THX, that movie with like that the prison's based off. So it's really cool. Like they are like they're really like a lot of these Easter eggs that they're adapting for this show. So that's really cool. So, but yeah, it was sort of nerve wracking that
when they were they gave him the the fake ID.
Yeah, it's
like,
still
check
it still
out.
works.
Should we let him go? And he's like, no, it'll be good practice.
Yeah, I guess if they boarded his ship, they would have found like I guess some incriminating evidence in regards to rebellion. So
like
you know
who he is and stuff too.
Yeah, so they would have found
good at changing his personality.
They would have found his wig and been like, oh, he's a rebel. So
that's what he really looks like.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So it really showed Luthen's a badass. He's definitely
cool.
He's definitely, I think, one of my favorite characters in the show, which already has so many great characters, and they're all non-Jedi, non-Mandalorian.
He likes being very mysterious.
Yeah. So I think it just really shows how well written the show is. And what else happened? Oh yeah, I guess like the last episode he goes back. I don't know why he would go back to that planet. Well, I understand why he went back, but I don't think I think it was like unwise of them to stay there that long, considering how easily he was arrested just literally for just like walking by one of those shore troopers.
Yeah.
Or just literally like be in the vicinity of one of those shore troopers, like, hey, you, what are you doing? So I'm guessing he maybe just like went out at night.
Why are you sweating? It's hot out here.
Oh yeah, so like that was insane. So it was like, why would you ever go back to that planet? But I guess he had to get his money. And apparently there was like already someone else staying in that hotel room. But yeah, I thought he probably could do himself because But so yeah, he went back to Space Miami, or Star Wars Miami. So yeah, and then I guess his friend. I thought his friend like become like a regular character now, but I guess his friend's gonna like go a separate way. And like, I thought it was kind of cruel how I only gave him a blaster, not any money. He's like, here, take this blaster. Can I borrow 50 credits? No, you just need the blaster. Just sell it. So
you'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that was. I guess his friend will come back in season 2 at some point, but I thought he was gonna like become like a regular character, but I guess not. So yeah, I think it's pretty apparent that Andor is going to go back to Ferrix, and I guess there's going to be like some sort of tease about where his sister is, because like remember the whole season started with him looking for his sister. Yeah, I guess, because they were separated when he was a kid and went to that ship.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he's going to like get a lead on his sister in the final episode, which will sort of like tie into or lead into season 2. And I'm also wondering if there might be like a Palpatine cameo, because they've been mentioning the Emperor a lot in this series. I mean, obviously it's the Empire, but I think it would be cool to have that cameo, because obviously we've seen enough Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Rogue One already, and
Yeah, when they get a name drop like.
Oh yeah.
I talked to
the Emperor. Yeah. So it seems like the ISB like works more with the Emperor than they do with Vader. So it seems, it would make more sense for Palpatine to have a cameo. But I won't be disappointed if they don't, because this show is like highly is highly realistic, and like Palpatine,
yeah, I like
Palpatine's
that about it.
Palpatine's just like would sort of like be.
Everybody feels more vulnerable instead of being a highly trained Jedi.
Yeah, but like Palpatine's literally like a dark wizard, so I think it would sort of take away them to like maybe show him, but like maybe just briefly show him in like more of like a just administrative role, and don't like have him like use the Force or anything like that. But it would be cool to see him, since he was sort of wasted in Rise of Skywalker. So I think like people want some redemption for him. But yeah, so, and hopefully maybe we'll see what happens to Kino Loy. I don't think so. I think they're just going to leave his fate ambiguous. But we'll see. And
oh yeah, the one who couldn't swim.
Yep, Kino. Yeah. Or the guy who played Snoke. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to the finale. And trying to remember, did we forget anything?
Oh, that thing with Saw Gerrera.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that. Like he was not happy because he thought that maybe Luthen might be a spy for the Empire, but he's like, if I was a spy for the Empire, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell you about Krieger. So yeah, so it is cool to like, you know, I'm guessing we're going to see more Rogue One characters in this series, because obviously like Saw Gerrera and Andor are the big ones, and then I guess Mon Mothma was also Rogue One briefly. So I'm guessing we're gonna probably see what's her name, Jyn Erso. We might see her cameo, maybe not this season, maybe next season. And I'm trying to remember who else was part of their crew. There was the two Asian guys, so maybe we'll see them again. Although I don't think any of them knew Andor before being in that movie, but they could have like. They could probably like know Gerrera or Mothma, perhaps. Yeah, this is interesting. So I really need to rewatch Rogue One now because it's sort of like Better Call Saul. Like you watch it so many years after Breaking Bad, you miss the Breaking Bad Easter eggs in Better Call Saul. So it's like I'm missing all the Rogue One Easter eggs in Andor because it's been so long since I've seen that movie. So I check it out. So
I might check it out too.
Yeah, so, have you seen the Tales of the Jedi TV series on Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's like an anthology series, but apparently it's like, you know, the origins of Count Dooku, and he's training like a young Qui-Gon Jinn, and I think there's one with Ahsoka and probably like some other Jedi that are probably famous from the Clone Wars TV show, so I haven't seen it, but, you know, I think it's by the same guys who did the Clone Wars and Bad Batch, and so I'm sure it's high quality, but like I said, I still need to finish season 1 of Clone Wars. I'm only like 5 episodes in.
Came out at the end of October.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the new Bad Batch coming out?
Let me see.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to review that when it comes out.
Oh, January 2023.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can finish the Clone Wars in that time. I doubt it, though.
They're not too far away.
There's just too much. Yeah, there's just too much. It's too much. So, we'll see if that second season can shake things up, because I just don't know if there's enough material to keep the Bad Batch interesting for multiple seasons, or like 5 seasons, much less 2. So, I mean, I enjoyed. I think what they should have done is they should have just ended the season with what's the name of the planet with the rain where they make the clones? What's it called?
I don't remember.
Well, I think they blew the lab up at the end of the season, but that should have been the final episode. Like the episode after that, like the actual season finale was like them getting back to the surface after it had been sunk to the bottom of the sea, and them escaping. And I think Crosshair has his chip disabled, but he still decides to not rejoin the Bad Batch because it's not an act for him, or he's not being controlled. He just literally prefers the Empire to the Republic, I guess. So I think that was the ending. But I think it would have been better if they just ended the season with the thing getting destroyed and the lab destroyed and sunk to the bottom of the sea, and then just us not knowing if they survived or not. So, but they're already gone, so we'll see what happens.
Some mystery in it.
Yeah, ambiguity. So, but yeah, so I guess next week we'll talk about the Andor finale, and I guess we can also, if y'all want to watch 1899,
yeah,
we can probably discuss that. Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Lost,
I did enjoy Lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to Lost, just in the sense that the international cast, there's a big mystery surrounding the show. You don't know what's going on, and everything's connected. It seems like they're all sort of tied to the ship in some way or another. So, yeah, a lot of similarities to Lost, but it's definitely its own thing. So, I think, and you can like watch the whole thing since all 8 episodes are available now. So. But yeah, so I guess we could probably discuss those 2 shows, at least the Andor finale next week. So, but yeah, you want to plug our social media?
Oh yeah, check us out at
Twitter
Zealot podcast. Yeah.
Well, Twitter's still a thing.
Twitter. Yeah.
Hopefully still a thing.
Whatever's gonna happen with that.
Yeah. Or, at the very least, just keep listening to us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or,
All usual
just Anchor.
podcast sites.
Yeah. So, we appreciate any and all listenership. So, thanks for tuning in. If you're a first time listener, welcome. We usually have more people on the podcast, but, I think people were just busy this week. So it's the way it is. But we still wanted to discuss Andor and not get too far behind. So, but yeah, that's our show. I'm Forrest.
I'm Robbie.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.